Hello, welcome to Michelle Sews Again. I'm Michelle. Today's video is going to be all about my Make 9s. I'm going to recap my Make 9 plans and progress for 2021, and I'm going to share my 2022 Make 9 plans after that. If that sounds interesting to you, then hang on. All right, so let's start with my 2021 Make 9 plans. I will put my grid up here. And I will tell you that I didn't know about the Make 9 challenge until March of last year. I wasn't really tuned in to like sewing challenges and things like that until the Make 9 challenge. And after that, as you guys know, I kind of went headfirst into challenges and participated in usually one or more every month over the course of 2021 until the end of the year when I slowed everything down. Anyway, so I did the Make 9 plans. I did them more generic than what a lot of people do them with specific patterns in mind. I didn't do it that way. I did more general, generic concept plans. But even with that, because I like flexibility, I like the ability to be able to change my mind. I don't want to be locked into something and then get down the road and decide, yeah, I'm not really excited about that. So I did them more generic, but even with that said, I didn't put a ton of thought into them. So I just kind of like winged it, and I threw stuff in there. And the reality is I wasn't super excited about everything on my list. So I wasn't 100% successful. I will tell you up front that I'm okay with that. I think that having just some guideposts or some goals in mind is a good way to keep you motivated. But when it comes to a hobby, they're not critical. So for people who don't want to participate in Make 9 because they don't want to have hard and fast plans that they can't change, don't worry about it. It can be fun. So let me recap what my 9 plans were. I'm going to do them one at a time and then tell you whether or not I was successful. So I'm going to leave the grid up here, and then if I have something to share, I'll replace the grid with a picture of the item. All right, so item number 1 was refashioning a thrift item. This one I think can be debatable. I consider it a success. I did this one. I went thrifting for my very first time with my sew sisters during our sewcation back in September. And we went to a Goodwill Superstore in Fort Lauderdale, and I was able to find some sheets and a tablecloth, and I got, I want to say 3 or 4 pieces. I'm calling them pieces of fabric, but they were really sheets and 1 tablecloth that I was able to take home, and I dyed them and made something out of them. So the one in particular that I'm thinking of is I had a white sheet and I ice dyed it, and I cut it up and I made the Merce's top out of it. So the Merce's top I consider a successful make, even though it wasn't one of my favorites. There are parts about it that I don't love, but I think, and I'll link my review of the Merce's top up here for anybody that's interested. I do want to make that again because I think the pattern is beautiful. I don't think that fabric was the best choice for the pattern. Anyway, so refashion a thrifted item, I'm considering that a success. I think some people would interpret refashioning a thrifted item as taking a garment and refashioning it, which is not what I did, but I'm okay with that. The number 2, my number 2 plan was a beach cover-up, and I was very successful there. I made 3 beach cover-ups in 1 week. I did that when I was preparing for our vacation to Naples back in June. And I had like a sewing frenzy. I made like 7 things from Sunday through Wednesday night, I think, or Thursday night, because we left town on Friday. I'll link to that video up here. No, it's over here. I always get that wrong. So I'm going to link to the Sewing Frenzy video up here, but I did make 3 beach cover-ups, and they were just self-drafted. I didn't find a pattern or anything. I just kind of did like, I made all 3 of them different slightly, but they're all kind of very similar. So that was a success. Number 3 was a tote bag. And I have a pattern for a tote bag. I also found a video for a DIY tote bag that doesn't follow a paid pattern. And I still want to do that, but I wasn't so excited about it that I had to get it done in my Make 9. So that one, I did not succeed. Number 4 was a pair of shorts. And in that one, I did succeed. I made the Pietra pants as shorts, but I made that as part of a challenge with Emma from So Do It Emma and a couple of other people on Instagram, because Emma had put out a story that she really wanted to make those pants, but she didn't see any imagery, any examples of the Pietra on plus size models. So a group of us got together and said, we're going to make them and we're going to post our pictures on Instagram so that we can be the models for the Pietra pant. And so I made those for that challenge. I definitely didn't get the fit 100% right, but they look like they fit better than they felt like they fit, if that makes sense, because I got a lot of positive feedback when I posted them, but from a feel perspective, they felt very baggy. They felt very like the crotch didn't feel like it was right. And I just wasn't excited enough about those shorts to spend the time to get them to fit right. So it was a success in terms of achieving my Make 9 goal. It was not a success in terms of having a finished garment that I think that I'll get a lot of wear out of. Number 5 was a pair of pajamas. And I actually did this, I was successful with this one twice. So the first time I made the peppermint loungewear pattern, and I made it in this really fun cotton poplin, I think, fabric that it's like a beige color and has black outline hands all over it. I was successful in making it, again, not successful in fit. The pants did not fit well. I made them as designed. I didn't grade or make any adjustments to it. And the front of the pants was just super puffy and just out there. Had way too much room in the stomach. And the top, I liked the fit of it because it was oversized. And if I'm going to sleep in it, it needed to be oversized. But it was too short. I should have lengthened it. So successful in terms of achieving the Make 9. Again, not successful in terms of the fit. You'll see a theme there, which is why fit is a major focus for me for 2022. The second pair of pajamas, I actually realized as I was making my list that I never shared with you guys. So it's a Rebecca Page pattern that I made prior to the release of the pattern. And I'll post a picture up here. And they're knit pajamas and they're really cozy. The fit actually, they fit. So I like these and I like the fabrics that I paired together for them, and I still need to do my review of them. So that will be coming at some point in the next month or two. So I was successful with this one twice. Number 6 was a pair of sweatpants or lounge pants. And I kind of had the True Bias Hudson pant in mind when I listed this one. I was not successful in achieving this one. I do have several loungewear sweatpant patterns, so I still want to make a pair, but I did not achieve that in 2021. The number 7 box on my Make 9 grid was a pair of jeans. This one I said I wasn't successful because I did not make a proper pair of jeans. This is one especially that I felt like I put it on my list because everybody was making jeans, and I felt like if I wanted to consider myself part of the sewing community, I needed to have a pair of jeans on my wish list. I don't care enough about having a good fitting pair of jeans. In my lifestyle today, I don't wear jeans often at all, and I have a handful of ready-to-wear jeans that I actually like the way they fit. So I'm not eager to make jeans. I did make a pair of jeggings for my Rebecca Page ambassador program, and they fit great. They're not jeans though. They don't have the same elements that a true pair of jeans has. So I contemplated whether or not to count that. It doesn't count because I did have a proper pair of jeans in mind when I put that on my grid. And like I said, I don't need them. I don't wear them. I'm not going to make them. Number 8 on my list was to knit a summer weight top. I started this project. I got about a little more than halfway on the front piece, and I just didn't love the way it was coming together. So I scrapped it. And honestly, I'm not sure that I'm going to add that back to my 2022 list because I wasn't super excited about it. If I end up making one, then I'll make one, but it's not going to be part of my Make 9 plans. I need to get I haven't found the right pattern that suits my style, if that makes sense. All right, and then number 9 was to knit a pair of socks. I really do want to do this. I started a pair of socks. I was maybe that far on one sock and ended up ripping it out and never got started again. I do want to do this though. So just a little sneak peek. That is the one. I have 2 items from my 2021 that have made it onto my 2022. And I'll get into that in a minute. And then a pair of socks is one of them. So that's it for 2021. I was successful with 4 of my 9 items. I feel pretty good about that. What I do want to say is I think that part of the reason that I wasn't more successful in finishing my Make 9 plans for 2021 is because I forgot about it. I think that I will be much more successful with it in 2022 because I plan to print my grid out and put it on a bulletin board in my sewing room so that it's front and center all the time. I will also print a grid and put it in my planner so that as I'm planning out what I'm making every month, I consider my Make 9 as I'm making out my plans. And I think that will be much more, that will help me to be more successful in finishing my Make 9. One of the things I wanted to say about having a Make 9 plan is I've heard a lot of people say that they don't want to participate because they like the ability to be flexible, to change their minds, and to not be kind of held in or boxed in by a plan for a hobby. I totally get that, and I'm 100% on board with that. You guys know I like to be impulsive. I like to be flexible and be able to make the new shiny thing that comes on board. What I have to say about that, for me personally, I made 82 items in 2021. Planning for 9 of them still leaves me a whole lot of room for flexibility. So again, I think it's a fun challenge. If you don't want to participate though, don't participate. All right, so here are my Make 9 plans for 2022. I put a lot more thought into these plans than I did 2021, so I'm a lot more excited about them, and I think my plan to have them front and center in my planner and on the bulletin board will also help me achieve these. So let's go through them. Number 1 is a perfect fit pair of pants, not jeans, but pants. Right now I have 3 UFOs. 2 of them were because I started them in December and had to pack stuff up, so I couldn't finish them. So those are UFOs, but they're not like long-term UFOs. I have 1 long-term UFO that is a pair of pants. They are the Seamwork Moji Pant, which isn't on their site anymore. They do have a different pattern that looks very similar, but they've changed it up a little bit. It doesn't have the cuff on the at the bottom of the hem. I love the look of these pants. I got, I think 90% through making them, and they were not fitting me. They were way too big. Surprise, surprise. But I love the pant. The fabric is okay. So I am gonna they were part of a work from home module challenge that Whitney from Tomcat Stitchery had started in 2020. Nope, 2020. She had started it in 2020. I was gonna participate. I had a color palette that was a beautiful color palette, but to be frank, isn't really my true color palette. It's not what makes my heart sing. It was more neutrals. It was olive green and like a rusty orange and kind of autumn type neutral colors, not the bright colors that are more me. So these pants, the fabric is an olive green, kind of a twill canvas maybe fabric. So they're good basic neutral pants. If I'm able to get them to fit, then I will keep them in my wardrobe, but I will consider it more of a wearable muslin. And once I get the fit right, I want to make them in a more fun fabric. But I really like those pants. They're kind of a cross between a regular pair of pants because of the fabric that they're made out of, but the style is kind of they kind of look like a jogger almost. So they're more casual, fit my lifestyle very well. So I do want to get those to fit me very well. All right, number 2 is a leather color blocked crossbody bag. So I've talked about this in the past. I really want to make this bag, so I'm gonna make it happen. I'm super excited about it. I have a pattern that Mari from Mari Sews recommended. It's from Emmeline Bags. I've already downloaded the pattern. I've bought the hardware. I just need to practice with some regular fabric to make sure that I can follow the steps before I cut into my leather. But I'm super excited about this bag, and I will pop a picture of the pattern here so that you can see what my goal. This one I do actually have. Right now I have a specific pattern, but I don't think I put the specific pattern in my Make 9 grid because, again, if something different comes along that I like better, I want the flexibility. Number 3 is I want to crochet a granny square. I want to learn how to crochet. So I've crocheted once. I took a class. This was like 15 years ago. And I made a scarf, and it was just a chain of crochet back and forth and back and forth. And that's all I've ever done. I got inspired by 2 different people. One was Sarah from Naughty Gnome Crafts. She made this gorgeous, it's not a granny square blanket, but it's a crochet blanket with scraps, and it's just super colorful, and I just love it. And also Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room, her daughter crochets these gorgeous like blankets. And I thought, if I can learn how to crochet a granny square, then I'll have the basis for what I need. And I can just like crochet granny squares whenever I want and throw them in a basket or something and piece them together at some point. So, the starting point for that is learning how to crochet a granny square. So I'm going to do that. And Sarah from Naughty Gnome actually did a tutorial on that, and I'll be following that tutorial, so I will link that in the cards and in the description box. Number 4, I want to ice dye a pair of sneakers. I think that's going to be super fun. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it. If I'm going to do it my typical ice dye way, or if I'm going to do, there's a lot of tutorials out there for like creating like a marble effect in water and dipping it. I forget what they call it, but I'm not sure what methodology I'm going to use, but I definitely want to buy a pair of white canvas slip-on sneakers, so the Van-like look. Maybe I'll just use Vans, who knows, but I'll practice with a cheap pair from like Walmart or something. But yeah, I'm gonna dye me a pair of sneakers. Number 5 is I want to make a faux jumpsuit. This has been on my wish list since last year. I made the coveralls from Herbacea Studio Patterns. I had tested the Chicoria coveralls, and those came out so cute. My problem was that I didn't wash the fabric before I dyed it, and after I dyed it, like I got all the fit perfect in the muslin, and then I ice dyed it and washed it, and the fabric shrunk, so it didn't fit me anymore, which is a bummer. But getting in and out of that, even when it fit, it's not something I'm interested in doing, but I love the look of a jumpsuit. I think they look really fun. So ever since then, I've kind of had in my head that I want to do a faux jumpsuit. And I actually have a couple of them planned for this year, and they're both going to be collaborations. So stay tuned for that. Then number 6 is I want to make one Dress-A-Girl dress a month, so that when September rolls around, I've got more than one. Last year I participated in the challenge and I made 3 dresses in the month of September, but I want to have like a better offering. So if you're not familiar with Dress-A-Girl, it is a project that Mari from Mari Sews was the champion of, and I will link to her intro video here and in the description box, and she is hosting it again this year. Last year her goal, I think her goal was 100 dresses. It might have been 300. We got over 1,000 dresses, you guys. Everybody like just really went for it. I think the fact that you're sewing and the garment isn't just for a challenge, but it's actually going to somebody that can use it, I think it just touched everybody's hearts. And I am so like proud to call Mari my friend, because she made this project so unbelievably successful. She's doing it again this coming September. So I definitely encourage you to participate. If you can only make one dress, that is amazing. If you are able to, there's a handful of us. I got inspired by Carmen from Carmen Salome. She's been making one Dress-A-Girl dress a month for a few months, and that's going to go through September. So I decided that I would follow her lead, and I'm going to make one Dress-A-Girl dress a month starting in January. And so my goal is to use free patterns from online somewhere, and I'll take you guys along on that journey with me, and I will post every month what free pattern I made and share the dress with you. And so yeah, that's one of my make 9. So that one is actually 9 makes within one grid box. All right, the next one is one that kind of came from my 2021 list, and it is upcycling a thrift find. And this one I do want to do in a way that is typical for an upcycle, meaning I want to take a garment that I've thrifted and remake something new out of it. So that one I'm excited about. If you don't already follow Blueprint DIY, I will link her channel in the description box. She does like phenomenal upcycling, and some of it's not my style, but it's all inventive, creative. I like, she inspires me when I watch her. And so, yeah, I'm inspired to upcycle a garment that I've thrifted. And so that is back on my list. Number 8, I want to participate in one challenge a month for fiscal. I want to participate in one challenge a month in 2022. And the reason that I decided to do that is when I did Vlogmas and I was sharing my top 25 makes over the last year and a half since I started sewing again, I realized that a lot of my top makes, a lot of my favorites came from either a collaboration or a challenge. So I definitely want to participate in more challenges, because I think they push me a little bit further to put a little bit more thought into a make or fabrication or whatever, and it can't hurt. Now, I do like what Sarah from Naughty Gnome said. She said she's gonna participate in fewer challenges because There are challenges that she participated in just to show support for the person that was hosting the challenge. But it might not have been a challenge that necessarily spoke to her. And I agree with that. I don't want to participate in a challenge just to say that I did one. With that said, there are so many challenges every month. I'm bound to find at least one that I think speaks to me, that I won't be forcing, if that makes sense. But if there happens to be a month where there's nothing that really makes me think I'm excited about it, then I'll skip the month. So I'm not going to be hard and fast on this one. But I do want that to be something, okay, let me search out a challenge and see what's going on. I am going to bring back my monthly challenge roundup video so that everybody knows kind of what challenges are out there in the Instagram world. And I'll start that with February. I don't know, maybe I'll do it this month. It's getting kind of late. Today's already the 9th. We'll see. And then my final Make 9 plan for 2022 is to knit a pair of socks. So I'm bringing that one back from 2021. I am really actually excited about that because although I don't wear socks, I just think the idea of making socks, that's one gift I think I could make for people that they would actually love and appreciate the effort that went into it. Plus, it's just a skill that I feel like I want to learn, and I want to get the technique for using the magic loop method down. That's kind of, it's awkward for me, and that's kind of why I ended up ripping out the pair of socks that I had started last year. So I want to get that technique down, and I have a pattern already. It's a just basic pair of socks. I've got some beautiful yarn, which that's the key for me, is finding beautiful yarn, beautiful fabric, whatever. And so I do want to make a knitted pair of socks. So that's my recap of 2021. I finished 4 out of 9 projects and my goals for 2022. And I would love to know, are you participating in the Make 9 challenge? If you are, what are your plans? What's your philosophy on the Make 9? Are you a supporter? Do you not like it? What are your thoughts? There's so many different thoughts about it across YouTube and Instagram. I'm curious what you think about it. Anyway, that's it for me today. Wherever you are, I hope the weather is amazing. I hope you're able to get some sewing in, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.